point of view, he's going to try and get the best deal for him as possible.
Of course.
Tell me about your trip to America, PBC, Al Haymon.
It was a good trip, you know. I met with loads of promoters and loads of TV stations.
Was that to tease Eddie?
No, not to tease Eddie. Listen, you know, I said to Eddie, am I a Dazn fighter? I asked him 3 times and I said, Eddie, am I a Dazn fighter? He said, no. I said, are you sure? He said, no, you're not fighting America. I said, are you sure? And I said, okay, so you're giving all this Dazn money to everyone else, but you're not giving it to me. But you're putting Dazn on the fight posters that I'm fighting, and then, so basically, you're hiding my potential to other people. So I said, okay, no problem, that's fine. You clarify that, I will go out and I'll look. So I started fighting up on Showtime because Dazn wanted it, and I said, well, I'm not a Dazn fighter, so I'm going to give it to Dazn. I prefer to put it on terrestrial TV in America and become bigger there, because more people will watch it in America. And I went out.
Let's stop it right there. My personal theory is I think that Dillian Whyte is an Al Haymon fighter. I think, like, just listening to him just the last several weeks and me covering Al Haymon as much as I have and his fighters over the years and years and years. For example, you ever hear the Budweiser Music Festival? Did you know that was Al Haymon? How about Live Nation? Did you know that's Al Haymon? Like, you know, stuff like that. And with the way he's been talking and the fact, like, the biggest alert to me was when Showtime picked up the fight. Showtime picked up Whyte versus Chisora 2, and I was like, wait a minute. I talked to Eddie Hearn, and I thought that all Sky Sports fighters, Eddie Hearn Matchroom fighters, were exclusive to the zone. Let's run this back again so you can hear where I'm going with this. And I got some timestamps. So we're going to be here for a nice little while. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. We cover every single major fight live, and we're getting back into the swing of things. February, I don't even know what the date is. What is it, 12th, some shit? February the 12th, 2019, 11:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is an interview Dillian Whyte did with Sky Sports' Johnny Nelson. And basically, wait, when was this? Let me check to be sure. This was, I believe, 2 days ago. No, the 7th. So right now, he wants to come back April the 20th. He wants to fight Dominic Breazeale. He had a deal to fight Anthony Joshua where the final deal was if he beats Anthony Joshua, there was a rematch clause for 50-50, but he doesn't want that. He wanted a reverse split, kind of like what he had against Derek Chisora in the rematch. Basically, he was the A side in Derek Chisora rematch, but the rematch clause was if Derek Chisora was to beat Dillian Whyte in the rematch, then he would get the same split that Dillian Whyte had. So basically, he's saying, Dillian Whyte, that he's willing to wait to be mandatory, to be crowned mandatory, than to take a bullshit deal from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. And he understands that Eddie Hearn has to look out for the A side first, which is Anthony Joshua. So he's not really throwing shade at Eddie Hearn, but he is exposing the truth. And I love the transparency, because in boxing these days, you know, it does not hurt you to be transparent. So let's go back, and I'll let you hear this out a little bit before we stop. I'll put a link down below in the description box.
If you looked at it from AJ's point of view, he's going to try and get the best deal for him as possible.
Of course.
Tell me about your trip to America, PBC, Al Haymon.
It was a good trip, you know. I met with loads of promoters and loads of TV stations.
Was that to tease Eddie?
No, not to tease Eddie. Listen, you know, I said to Eddie, am I a Dazn fighter? I asked him 3 times and I said, Eddie, am I a Dazn fighter? He said, no. I said, are you sure? He said, no, you're not fighting America. I said, are you sure? And I said, okay, so you're giving all this Dazn money to everyone else, but you're not giving it to me. But you're putting Dazn on the fight posters that I'm fighting, and then, so basically, you're hiding my potential to other people. So I said, okay, no problem, that's fine. You clarify that, I will go out and I'll look. So I started fighting up on Showtime because Dazn wanted it, and I said, well, I'm not a Dazn fighter, so I'm going to give it to Dazn. I prefer to put it on terrestrial TV in America and become bigger there, because more people will watch it in America. And I went out and started a deal with Showtime in like 5 days notice, by myself off my own back. No regrets, because when I was in America, so many people watched the fight. You know, I think 17,000 people watched Joshua and Povetkin and Dazn in America. You know, look how big America is. Those people come to me.
That's crazy. So just to stop right there, 17,000. Now he would know those numbers. Also, I went to check the Whyte versus Chisora, the Whyte versus Chisora 2 original posters with the press conference, and yes, they did say the zone on him, and he's saying that he wasn't getting no money from the zone, but yet, you know, like it was some shadiness there on Eddie Hearn's part. Like we see it. So somebody's clearly been in Dillian Whyte's ear, but I'm glad that he's awoken to it. And now he understands how big of a position he's in with his career with that WBO #1 spot, which they'll likely order him to fight a eliminator, meaning to fight somebody to become the mandatory. See, the way it works is just because you're ranked #1 doesn't mean you're #1. With the Dominic Breazeale situation, you have to trace it back to Don King. Dominic Breazeale was supposed to fight Bermane Stiverne for the WBC interim title. Don King has major stroke with the WBC. So basically, when Luis Ortiz had pulled out of the fight for his blood pressure, diabetes, or whatever the hell it was, Bermane Stiverne stepped up, but they couldn't just fuck over Dominic Breazeale because he's supposed to be fighting for WBC interim. So it was supposed to be Dillian Whyte versus Dominic Breazeale because of Don King's stroke with the WBC. No bullshit. Don King and Jose Sulaiman, rest in peace, the father and founder of the WBC, correct, was very, very close with Don King, and there was some shady ass shit going on in the 90s and the 2000s with the WBC, but we're going to leave that at that. That is the reason why Dominic Breazeale is the mandatory, because of some shadiness involving Bermane Stiverne, and he got upped to the main event to get his title shot. Thank you to Don King. And they had to fuck over Dillian Whyte. It's not Eddie Hearn's fault. It's not Dominic Breazeale's fault. It's not Deontay Wilder's fault. It's that WBC Don King bullshit. Did you notice Don King fighters like Charles Hatley, Amir Imam? You know, you're like, how the hell they get title shots? Venus Martirosyan tried to get that same treatment and didn't work out too well for him. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. So Showtime actually, so he talked to Showtime. Showtime likely, definitely, Al Haymon welcomed him with open arms. Like him and Steven Espinoza, come on in, let's talk to you. Let's talk to you about your value, because remember, they are already bitter, as they should be, upset with Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua for broadcasting him to build up him versus Deontay Wilder. Remember, Joshua was getting televised over here. Showtime was heavily investing in him, and then he jumped ship to the zone. So, of course, Dillian Whyte come over there. They're going to start spilling the beans to him. Like, look, they ain't giving you the best deal. Listen, the zone ain't giving you no money? Nah, sign with us, and we're going to give you some TV money and get you exposure over here. Also, Al, talk to him. Talk to him about the business. Give him the rundown. But we're going to play a little bit more. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.
Oh, well, fight. So I will watch it in America, and I went out and sorted a deal with Showtime in like 5 days notice, by myself off my own back. No regrets, because when I was in America, so many people watched the fight. You know, I think 17,000 people watched Joshua and Povetkin and Dazn in America. You know, look how big America is. Those people come to me, oh, well, fight. So I prefer that anyway. That's how you become big. Terrestrial TV. That's how you become big. That's how you become.
That's why we know today's heroes.
Yeah, exactly.
So
let's talk about the next generation.
So I like how Sky Sports Johnny Nelson tried to change the subject, but luckily I got some more timestamps for you. Now, we were talking about this several months ago, and Dillian Whyte confirmed it even better in regards to Anthony Joshua. Wembley was only going to pick up, Anthony Joshua's April fight if he was fighting either Dillian Whyte, Deontay Wilder, or Tyson Fury. He wasn't going to do Miller. And we talked about how right now, if you look at it, what has Eddie Hearn delivered to the zone? He hasn't delivered on any of his promises in regards to bringing guys like Mikey Garcia, Adrian Broner, Keith Thurman, Deontay Wilder over there. And they all know this. Dillian Whyte knows it. Deontay Wilder knows it. They all know, Al Haymon, Shelly Finkel, they all know that the zone is giving Eddie Hearn pressure. Dillian Whyte's going to talk about it. Let's start right here. Let's start right here. And by the way, I'm a huge supporter of the zone. I want them to succeed. We need those international fights televised over here.
They're trying to give me 12 weeks notice for big massive fights like this when we tried to make the fight 3 months ago. Makes no sense. They know that the Wembley date 3 months ago. Wembley told him, we're not fighting no one else at Wembley unless it's Dillian Whyte Fury. They knew this.
Wow.
They knew this. And then that's why they're not fighting Miller at Wembley. They're going to fight in America because Wembley don't want it.
Okay, which one would you prefer out of the three?
Dominic Brazil is the guy who want. You know, it's the guy that, you know, hopefully they can deliver him. Well, let's see. If not, then the obvious option is Povetkin because obviously he's got a good name. 2-time Olympic gold medalist or whatever he is, former world champion, only lost to Klitschko and to AJ, so he's a good, credible guy for me from a building point in my story as well. You know
would you say he's the most dangerous out of the three?
I don't know. I think Brazil is probably, he's younger, he's the bigger of the three, and he's tough. He gets up and he'll have a go, you know what I mean? Ortiz is skillful, but he's old. Povetkin, skillful, but he's a small guy, you know? You know, he's very, very smart. He's got a lot of skills, very experienced, tough amateur, former world champion. But I just believe that you know, I don't see anything there that I think, you know, okay, he's dangerous in spurts, but I'm bigger than him and stronger than him.
How do you see the AJ Miller fight going? And what's your thoughts on Miller?
Miller is garbage. You know, Miller is... I can't believe they choose to fight Miller over fighting me. He's garbage, but I get it. It's a business move. You know, Joshua needs to fight in Dazn in America. You know, and Eddie's under pressure to deliver. So Miller is the perfect opponent for America. He looks the part. He's undefeated. He can't punch. He's got a good work rate, and you know that he will talk the talk. It's the perfect opponent for them, and you know, so whatever.
Would you go out to the fight?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't waste my time going to the fight. I know what's going to happen already. You know what's going to happen already? I would say 6-7 rounds, Miller will get knocked out.
I smile when I see your interviews with Eddie.
You know, that's some real shit right there. That's some real shit right there. Like, I respect him for this. I'm going to put the link down below in the description box, or you can just, you know, go on YouTube to the Sky Sports boxing YouTube page. Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn in a tough spot because even though he's the A side, come on, guys, they're trying to freeze him out. And right now, guys like Usyk, he's not ready to go up to the 100. I mean, to heavyweight right now, or not for a big fight like that. You know, they are playing hardball. You can't tell me Showtime and Al Haymon have not been in his ear. They probably told him, hey, listen, between us, don't worry, don't. Who? I tell you what, we're going to start here. And this is the last point we're going to make in this video. Well, we're going to stop here. And we're going to make one more point. And the question I have to you is, who can guarantee Dillian Whyte the fight that he wants Dominic Brazil? Eddie Hearn can't guarantee him that. Al Haymon can guarantee it to him. If that fight gets announced for April the 20th, do not be surprised if Dillian Whyte, if he wins against Dominic Brazil, says, thank you, Al Haymon. And then, if Anthony Joshua wants to play even more hardball, don't be surprised if you see the winner of Wilder versus Fury 2 fight Dillian Whyte to freeze Anthony Joshua out even further. Now, listen, this is my theory. That's just my theory. I think it's pretty sound, right? Let's start right here. Well, end right here. Yeah.
In April the 20th.
Yeah, you know, we want to go again. April 20th is the date that we're looking at. It's a date that Eddie says got those two, but now it's a problem of opponents. You know, there's 3 opponents, in my opinion, apart from the champions. And it's just, what do they bring to the fights, you know? And what's in it for me?
So which one do you prefer? You're talking Brazil, you're talking Ortiz, you're talking Povetkin. Which one do you prefer? I gather Brazil is he number 1 contender?
Yes. No, he's mandatory.
Mandatory.
He's number 3 contender and he's mandatory. So, can you see the dilemma? I've been number 1 for almost 2 years. He's been number 3 for not even a year, and they made him mandatory over me. Which, you know what boxing's like, there's always something going on, I don't get it. It's like...
So in an ideal world, if you beat Brazil, that means you automatically become the mandatory challenger.
This is what we want.
In an ideal world.
This is what we want. This is the fight we want. This is the fight we're pushing for. It's up to Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports to deliver this for me. You know, I've done everything they've asked of me. think I put myself in a prime position for them to deliver for me for once. They need to deliver for me, you know. Brazil is a fight. It's a fight that puts me and guarantee me into a world title fight. And it's a big fight, and it's a fight I'm willing to risk my position that I've worked the last 2 years for.
You are a risk taker, and that's what I'm saying. The fights you're having, sometimes you've had the last 2 or 3 fights.
We're just going to have to see, you know, just speculation. And then, you know, we can get, I mean, I guess we can say we've been hearing it, you know, and Eddie Hearn hasn't been shy talking about that Joshua versus Miller, June the 1st at Madison Square Garden is close. It can be announced any day now. It could be announced this week. It's 11:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, February the 12th, 2019. The fight's going to be on June the 1st. Technically, they still do have some more time. But in regards to Dillian Whyte, he doesn't have that much time if he's fighting on April the 20th. So who can guarantee him Dominic Breazeale? Come on. Come on, hardcore boxing fans. Who can guarantee him that fight? Al Haymon. Because Dominic Breazeale is an Al Haymon fighter. Or a wild card, could Dillian Whyte be sick and tired and be like giving Eddie Hearn the last chance? And could we see Whyte versus Breazeale on ITV box office? You know, that's Al Haymon shit now, basically, with Pox and Sports. He working with them. He's in the UK market now. ITV, he's in the UK market. He's building his cards up. He's going to be bringing UK cards, too. Like UK-based cards with his fighters. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.